I'm going to be monitoring the question box, so at any time if there's any issue with the quality, if you can't hear me, if you can't see my screen, just bring that to my attention, okay? Thank you very much, David. Thank you, Joseph, all right? So quick risk disclosure, very important, especially because the CFTC monitors some of these webinars, and we want to make sure we comply with their guidelines. So quick risk disclosure, okay? We at JOBB provide this material for informational and educational purposes only and should in no way be construed as investment recommendations. JOBB does not make recommendations in any securities and does not provide financial, tax, or legal advice. And please keep in mind that risk of loss in electronic trading can be substantial. Therefore, you should carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you in light of circumstances and financial resources. And yes, I know I missed that first line, but bottom line is this. I'll paraphrase it for you. Okay, trading futures, okay, definitely carries a high degree of risk, okay, and although there could be great reward, they are intended for sophisticated investors and not suitable for everyone. So bottom line, guys, is as much as I would love you to come in and join our program and start trading live, and some of you are already trading live, it's important that you understand that trading futures is serious business, okay? Thank you. So I think with that, one way I like to, one style that I think you're going to really enjoy is even though I like to talk a lot and I like to explain things, I'm a visual learner. So I'm going to be sharing with you lots of trades. And you know what? The best thing about it is that these trades are all real money live trades. Okay, these are no sim trades, no market replay. These are live trades, personal trades that I have taken. And then I'm going to show you some, for those of you that stay until then, I'm going to show you some recent trades from last week, even from our active members. So this is one trade that I took from April 9, 2014. This is the Australian unemployment change. Okay, so stay with me here. Okay, so right now I'm going to basically give you a little overview. So basically this is a little snippet, what you just saw previously was a little snippet of what we call high impact report alert. But anyways, right now focusing over here, this is NinjaTrader. Okay, so to be able to use our software, you need to have NinjaTrader platform. Our software is exclusive to NinjaTrader. And our strategy, our software is right over here. So don't worry too much about what all these parameters are, but the bottom line is this. You go ahead and you plug in all the settings which we basically spell out for you, okay, and then you just set up the software, and now I'm going to show you how the software works. Okay, hit apply. Okay, there you got the JOBB, and now watch this. Okay, you see this bar timer over here? I'm going to pause right here, okay, because I'm not sure exactly the knowledge of but I'm pretty sure most of you could read this chart. But anyways, this is a 6H chart, Australian dollar, and these are 1-minute intervals. Okay, so we have 16 seconds left until the news event comes out, and as you may know, these red candles represent a decrease in price from the previous candle, and the green candles represent an increase in price. So right here, okay, in about 16 seconds, the Australian unemployment change report is going to come out. And as soon as that comes out, guess what? It's going to affect the Australian dollar. And now watch how our software capitalizes on this. Okay, what our software is going to do, it's going to automatically place 2 entries, okay, a couple seconds before the news event comes out. Now we're not fortune tellers at JOBB, okay, and I'd pause the video one more time. We don't know whether it's going to go up or down, okay? That would require insider knowledge to know what the actual performance is before it's released, but we don't know that. But what we do know after lots of extensive research is that once this report is released, there will be a variance usually between the actual and the forecast, okay, the actual numbers versus what the experts are predicting. And that variance is going to draw, okay, and okay, that's what our JOBB program software does. So we'll place 1 buy and 1 sell, 2 pending orders. And we're betting that there's going to be decisive reaction one way or the other. So watch. We're at 7 seconds. Now watch this. Okay, 3 seconds before, 2 pending orders. You see this? 1 buy, a couple ticks above, and 1 sell. So if it hits this buy, we're hoping that it's going to continue to go up. If it hits this sell, we were hoping that it's going to continue to go down. Okay, so watch this. Okay, the news comes out, it spikes north, it hits our buy here. You see that? It hits our buy here. Now we don't even know what the numbers are, but you could see we're already in the green here with $170 with 1 contract. So what do? I immediately manually move my profit target down. Watch this. Well, actually, I didn't even have time to do that, okay? You just hit my profit target. So 20 ticks, that's $200 on one contract in 4 seconds. So you know what, if you want to decide whether or not, my brother always tells me that, if he watches the first 10 minutes of a movie, if he doesn't enjoy the first 10 minutes, then he won't bother watching the rest of the movie. So if, this first trade doesn't excite you, if this doesn't captivate you to want to learn more, then you know what, I don't want to waste your time. But I'm going to tell you right now of lots more exciting trades and lots more information to provide you, okay? So this is just a little preview of you, if you will, just to give you an introduction to what we're talking about in news trading. So 4 seconds. Now, the cool thing is my story is that I was a former member, okay, before I became a partner in the business, as Mark put it. And by the way, Mark mentioned that I live in New York City, and he's right. But I'm actually going to be his neighbor soon, okay? I don't know if he ever mentioned to you where he lives, but without being too specific, I'm going to be moving to the sunny state of Florida. All right, so anyways, getting back on topic, all right, what I want to share with you is take a look at this, okay? This is the Bloomberg TV feed. Now watch this. Now they're releasing the Australian payroll data. We're already out of the market, okay? 5 seconds, we're out of the market, and now people are watching, the traders are watching the news results. We're already out, okay? And I'm going to give you a couple of great news sources for you to get the news. Bloomberg is actually, in my opinion, one of the worst ones for what we do, for specifically for our news trading, because it's too slow. But for the Australian news, the problem is that to find like a news feed like this with like a TV, this is like one of the only ones that I came aware of. But I'm going to share with you some great resources. So anyways, the point is that we're already out of the trade while these guys are talking about the numbers. Now, the cool thing about our program is transparency, okay? Right there you see the chat room. Okay, that was something that I actually implemented as soon as I became part of the business. Now, in our chat room, you see people here reporting plus 30, plus 20, and notice that people are putting SIM to specify that they took a SIM trade. Okay, our code is that if it's a live trade, you don't have to write anything, but plus 30 means plus 30 ticks. So you see plus 30, plus 20 SIM, plus 25 ticks from Jay, and plus 20 ticks from me, eMoney. And by the way, it's Eric again, that's me, Eric, on the webinar. So even some members are making more money than myself and Jay. And that's really awesome, this type of transparency for you to see real-time how other traders are doing. All right? So we took a little bit of time on that. Okay, you're going to see the rest of the presentation is going to go a little bit faster, but I think it's important to slow down in the beginning so that everyone is on the same page. So the agenda today is I'm going to make sure that everyone is aware of News Trading 101, the basics. I'm going to go over the JOBB team. I'm going to explain how the JOBB software works. I'm going to go over the value of the JOBB program. I'm going to go over our 4-year track record, and then our exciting new trade software that was developed last year. Okay, and one of the things I'll tell you right now, that reason why, you might be wondering, so it looks so attractive, why is it that people avoid trading the news? Well, one of the major reasons is slippage. Okay, there happens to be slippage on some news events. Okay, but the cool thing is that we developed a software that actually avoid slippage altogether. No slippage. Okay, so if you want to know how that's possible, make sure you stick around. And then, of course, I want to make sure I reward you for sticking on live. We're going to give you a special incentive for you join our program. And then we're going to have an extended Q&A session and bonus material. Okay, I'm in no rush. I know we said it's 1 hour, so I'll try to keep it to 1 hour. But, it could probably go on even longer than that, maybe even closer to 90 minutes. But I'm going to make sure to get most of the information that you will need to make the decision as to whether to join, or the information that I feel is most valuable within the first 60 minutes. Okay, so a great free resource, okay, which I wanted to tell you before, is Forex Factory. Okay, I don't care whether you join our program, whether you news trade or not. Okay, I know with Mark at Right Line Trading, you guys do order flow and a lot of great things. You need to be aware of when these news reports are coming out. So forexfactory.com, okay, it's a free economic news calendar that will tell you every single day, week, month, the different reports are coming out from different government agencies. And it'll even highlight for you in red which reports are high impact, but that doesn't necessarily mean that those are good reports to trade and are safe to trade. Okay, the cool thing about our program is that we trade over 60 reports, or close to 60 reports a month now. But knowing which 60 reports to trade took lots of time and research, and knowing what instruments to trade. Because look at this non-farm. You see, it tells you in Forex Factory that it affects the USD currency. But, you know, what does that mean? You could trade the USD, right? You could also trade the 6J. You could trade the crude oil. I mean, there are a lot of things that impact, you know, U.S. news. So, but the bottom line is, this is how you read it, okay? So it'll tell you the forecast. So, for example, 240,000 jobs were created in March. Well, that's what they'll tell you before the news event comes out. But then at the news event, there's going to be like this little green circle. You click on it and refresh it, and it'll spit out the actual number once this report is released. So take a look at this. 295,000 jobs were created. Okay, that's 55,000 jobs greater than what the experts were predicting. That is a big variance, and that's what's going to cause price action. Okay, when there's as little variance, that actually means that it's actually going to be either a dull report, or in the worst case scenario, it could be an indecisive report. Okay? And by the way, I encourage you to ask questions. I'm going to be answering them either throughout the presentation or for sure at the end. Okay? So definitely one of the biggest benefits for people coming into our program are these high impact report alerts. Okay? This is a little snippet. Okay? These reports are PDFs that are sent to our members 24 hours in advance, that tell them which reports we're gonna trade the next day, and on Sunday we actually give you the whole week, a calendar of what to expect for the whole week. Okay, so without getting into detail too much, what you can see is that we tell you the time the report's coming out, and then we have a risk categorization from 1 to 5. That's something that we implemented last year, where from 1 being that we feel, based on our analysis, based on historical data, that has some better track record. So risk 1 reports and risk 2 are ones with great track records with our program, and then risk 5 are the more risky reports. And then you can see here in the bottom, we give you the settings to put in the amount of ticks for a stop loss. So a big question that people like to ask me all the time is, you know, how much are you risking on each trade? Well, our stop loss that we usually put in is anywhere between 5 and 20 ticks. On average, I would say 15 ticks. So that's about $150 loss on one contract. But as you know, stop losses, just want a full disclosure, being very candid with you. As great as they are, there are definitely going to be times where you're going to get stepped out past your stop loss because of slippage. But I could tell you right now, after at least 5 years of trading now, that the worst slippage I ever had in my life was having 2.5 times my stop loss. Okay, so imagine you were risking $150 or 15 ticks, getting out 2.5 times. So just make it three times. Okay, that's $450. Okay, so you could see that definitely that's happened to me. I could count on one hand how many times it's happened to me. But full disclosure, you want to understand that a stop loss doesn't guarantee that that's the maximum that you're going to lose. Okay, so a little bit more about myself. Okay, so again, I live in Brooklyn, New York, my beautiful wife, and that's my son, my newborn son. He's 5 months this week, Eli, and we're actually moving to Florida. Okay, I decided that I'm enough of the New York style. It's a little too fast-paced for my wife, who's Canadian, and I want my son to enjoy beautiful sunny weather all year round. Again, I went to school for accounting. The reason why I did so is because my goal was to help others achieve financial success. But it just so happens that I found that news trading to be the platform where I'm most passionate about and how I help others achieve financial success. So again, my story, which I'll explain a little bit further on, is I was a former member of JOBB. And actually my claim to fame and how I earned the nickname E-Money was I took a $2,000 account and I turned it into over $20,000 in profits in just a few months. Okay, and what I love and what I enjoy most is doing coaching sessions one-on-one privately on Skype. So anyways, there's my family, and now I want to present a little bit about my partner Jay. So Jay Offner, he's the founder, of JOBB Breakout. Jay is he's the trading guru, if you will. He's my mentor. Jay lives in Hawaii with his beautiful wife and his 3 wonderful kids. You can see him on the bottom right. Jay is a man of integrity. He's a fascinating individual, works for the U.S. Navy in submarine technical development at Pearl Harbor. And Jay has served in the U.S. Navy and served in warfare for over 8 years and is currently in the U.S. Navy Reserve with over 15 years combined service. Okay, Jay developed the JOBB software using his skill sets from his background in nuclear engineering to capitalize on high-impact economic reports and essentially trade the news automatically the moment that the data is released to the public. Okay, Jay, just to give you a little bit more specifics, Jay actually teaches and trains submarine commanders. And if you're wondering, who's the mastermind that created this software and who's the guy that had the balls, if you will, to go against the grain and to trade he has, he doesn't like to show that on YouTube, but, he has trades where, he does 50 contracts at a time, trading the non-farm, for example, and that takes, excuse my language again, balls of steel. So, Jay has shown me trades where he has made someone's annual salary in just one trade. Now, keep in mind, to be able to do that, definitely lots of risk, but Jay is someone who, who's been in, very stressful situations that can handle that. But the point is, I'm going on a little ramble over here. The point is that you don't need to trade 50 contracts, okay? You could be very successful with this program just trading one contract or two contracts and becoming good at that. But the name of the game isn't going for more ticks. It's to be able to build your bankroll. All right, so I went a little all over the place there, just my style, but let's get back to News Trading 101. All right, so basically now you guys know a little bit more about the JOBB partnership. Myself, Jay, you guys have seen a live trade. Let's go back a little bit, okay, and let's just go over again News Trading 101. So just to make sure that everyone's on the same page, right? So every single day there are these economic news reports that are released daily from different government agencies. And guess what? They influence the price action of different instruments. So for example, today, crude oil, okay, unless you've been hiding under a cave, you know that crude oil has had tremendous amounts of volatility this past year. Okay, crude oil, if you look at the 52-week high, was almost at $100. And now it went down to $45 about a month or so ago, and now it's nearing 60, topping 60 again, okay? Based off this crude oil report, it's I think $58, $59 today. So what is this crude oil inventory report? First of all, this is a weekly report that we definitely trade in our program, and it tells us the supply of oil, okay, the supply of crude oil. So the exact second that the data is released, the price action of certain instruments will spike long or short, and with crude oil, we trade crude, depending on the news result compared to the forecast, okay? So another key question that people always ask is, which trading platform, which broker? Okay, so for those of you, and I think for those folks with Mark at Right Line Trading, I think many of you guys are already NinjaTrader users, so you guys know that the brokerage is kind of limited, but without a doubt, NinjaTrader is without a doubt, in my opinion, the best trading platform out there, and we definitely recommend them, and you will have to use them if you want to use our software. And then we absolutely recommend their brokerage services that you can't beat any other prices. And I think at this point, you don't really have any other options. So there you have it, okay? So ninjatrader.com, if you're not already signed up, make sure, if you want to take action on what you're learning today, you could sign up for a demo. And then for those of you that are not live yet, just very quickly, the way I started is I got a quarterly license. So to be able to trade live with NinjaTrader, you need to have a live version that's a paid version. So the cheapest option is a quarterly license, which is $60 a month with a 3-month commitment. So I did that for about 6 months, so twice, and then I bought a lifetime license. And that's what the leverage that I needed to make sure that I said, you know what, Eric, I'm going to be successful at this. But basically, if you just want to test our program out on SIM, you could definitely get a demo for free. And now I want to share with you another trade. So, by the way, you'll notice that some of these trades are from 2014. I'm sharing with you trades I feel that are best articulate or help teach our program, but I'm going to share with you some even recent trades from active members from just a week ago, okay? So stay with me. So this next trade, okay, 4 seconds away from the news, we're trading copper here. Watch this. Huge spike north. Again, what do? Okay, this is actually a good lesson. I take my profit target and I move it down. I don't hit the close button. I take my profit, I move it down, and I get out here with $175, okay, in about 14 seconds. And you know what? I don't even know what the actual number is here. See, I'm not focused on what the news event is. I'm not trying to analyze so much to see, oh, well, you know, this is a positive number. I'm going to stay in the trade longer. Okay, that's actually logical. In fact, you know, if you see trades of my partner Jay, he'll have, you know, at times, you know, on some trades that he shared with me, thousands of dollars on the board, or even tens of thousands of dollars on the board, and I'm like, why are you still, you know, waiting, you know, because he's confident based on his analysis, et cetera, et cetera. But me, my style is e-money. I think this is, you know, in my opinion, this is one of the easiest, this is easy money to be captured. Of course, there's a great risk that you're putting in as well, but I don't analyze too much. I don't care if I don't know the numbers. So as long as I see that there's green on the board, I go ahead and I capture that profit. Okay, so that's my style. Again, I'm an accounting major. I have a very conservative background. Okay, so let's move on. And I just want to pause right here because I see some questions, but it's way beyond just a breakout. So it's more sophisticated. But right now, I just want to go over the the core JOBB 1-minute spikes. Okay, so why futures? Okay, so we trade futures in our program, and a lot of members actually were former futures forex traders. Now, the reason why we trade futures is a couple of reasons. One is there's huge amounts of leverage, and there's an exchange, and that's exactly why we don't advise trading forex. Okay, lots of members have been very successful trading the news with forex, and then once they made some big gains, they had the unfortunate experience of brokers finally learning what that we were doing and then manipulating basically the trades, and basically they were not able to be profitable, or lots of other bad stories. So no exchange. We don't trade the forex. Okay. We deal with futures. We have the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Sure, there's probably some manipulation still, even with exchange. But the bottom line is this: you know, I've been trading now for over 5 years, and I never had one single complaint. Never had one single issue of a member trying to pull out their money, or so basically. Futures is the way that we go. And you know what? Futures, you know, is something that most people are not, you know, for example, myself, okay, I went to school of management. I knew a lot about the stock market, equities, but, you know, futures was something that was new to me when I graduated from school. Okay, I had to learn that on my own. And bottom line is that as complicated as it may sound, futures, in my opinion, is a lot simpler than trading, for example, options. Okay, you have to do a lot of analysis to figure out how much your option is worth. Futures is very simple. You buy and you sell. Okay, you buy something, you buy a contract, you're hoping that the price is going to go up. It's as simple as that. Okay? So let's go on. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually share with you a couple of big trades that I took as a former member. I mentioned before how I took a $2,000 account, turned into $20,000. So I'm going to share with you some of those trades. Now, I don't want to make this entire presentation about my story, but I think it's helpful and inspiring. So I'm going to share with you some trades here. Now, I go out of my way to show, you're going to see now, I'm going to share with you my broker statements from when I was a member, my Ninja Trader stats, you know, but the more and more that I provide, you know, people start asking me for my tax returns. So instead, I just want to explain to you what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to give you as much, be as transparent as possible, show you and verify for you, and so that you feel comfortable coming into our program. But now that I'm a partner, what I like to do is instead of showing off my trades, my recent trades, I like to turn the table and show off the trades of recent members. So that's exactly what I'm going to do here. So yes, I understand that these trades are outdated from 2013, but I'm going to share with you trades from last week. Okay, and best of yet, not from me, but from active members. Okay, so I think that's definitely exciting. Okay, so check this out. This in 2013, a true gold mine that we discovered was trading the 30-year bonds, the ZB, on the non-farm payroll. Okay, now we don't do this anymore because we no longer feel that it's a safe way to trade. We have a new way that we trade the non-farm. But in 2013, I'll pause for a second. This is the 1-minute candle. This is the non-farm payroll in the U.S. Okay, that is the most impactful report that comes out every single month. That basically tells you, it dictates how the U.S. economy is doing. Okay, so heavy heavy influencing reported trade. Now, what I wanted to say was that kind of lost my train of thought over there, but yes, I'm trading with 10 contracts, okay? Now, I didn't always trade with 10 contracts. I built my account nice and slowly from one contract, okay? So let's watch this together. Okay, so this bar timer here, and again, this is the 1 minute breakout, if you will. Now, you're going to see that I'm going to make a critical mistake here in how I get out of the trade. I'm going to hit the close button. And that's something I want to talk more about. So we'll check this out, okay? The JOBB software is already automated. All I have to do here is, and just to be clear here, it's not a fully automated system, okay? The setup is automated, but you need to babysit every single trade and get out of the trade manually, okay? You need to. So watch. 4 seconds before the news event comes out, 10 buys, 10 sells, okay? Okay, it breaks out. Okay, and I'm actually trading this goes back, a few years on an old HP laptop on my kitchen table. Okay, now I have a 6-monitor trading computer, customized trading machine, but right now I'm trading on an old HP laptop, this trade, I should say, and there's a little bit of lag over here, so I don't get filled until 6 seconds afterwards. And regardless, and you see this lag over, this slippage over here, I have $5,000 on the board here. So remember what I told you before, as soon as I see the green, I get out of the trade. So watch what I do. I try to move my profit target down manually. Left click on the profit target, move it down. And it just slow, it's lagging up. So you know what? I go ahead and you see this, I have 6,500, I'm going to have 6,800 on the board, and I hit the close button. And this is a critical mistake. Well, watch. When I hit that close button, it goes from 6,875 to $5,312.50. Okay, so definitely just donated $1,500 to the market. The reason why you don't want to hit the close button, because the way I like to explain it is you're basically telling Ninja to get you out of the worst possible area. Okay, that's not exactly the case, but basically when you hit the close button, with this volatility, I mean, it's just a trap shoot. I mean, it's a crap shoot, but basically you always want to get out manually with limit orders. So I'm not complaining, okay? This was actually the same month of my 25th birthday. I'm a young individual, I'm 27 years old. And basically, I'm a happy camper over here. Okay, so let's move on here. But yeah, definitely one of my favorite reports to trade. Now, I mentioned we trade over 60 reports per month. Now, this next trade actually falls out of my sleep cycle. Okay, I see that some of you probably are in the U.S., but 3 o'clock in the morning is out of our sleep cycle. For those of you in the West Coast, that's midnight, so you're fine maybe if you like to sleep late. But anyways, this Euro, French, and German flash manufacturing reports, I first did not trade this, but once I saw that fellow members were doing very well with this, I said, you know what, it might be worth trading and breaking my sleep cycle if I trade a little bit heavy. So check this out. This is the Euro French, okay, and you're going to see 10 seconds before the news comes out. Same deal here. I just want to show you again how it works and basically show you that our system is definitely sophisticated. It's not a 50-50 crapshoot or flip a coin. You could see that we're targeting certain reports that we see have healthy behaviors in how they penetrate. Watch. Again, beautiful clean entry north, and now I have multiple profit targets. I have 8 contracts that right away I try to move down, I get out, and then now because I'm going to reward myself because I got out of those 8 contracts in the green, I'm going to let 2 ride. But you know what? It happened to not continue to go up. So what do? I like to get out with the green. So I just move down my profit target and I end up getting out of the same target as before. No problem. Okay, I try to go for a little bit more gravy, but it didn't happen. So there you go, 1490 on the board. Okay, that's my live account. Now the cool thing about waking up for the Euro French is that 30 minutes later you have the Euro German. Okay, now remember I said before that it's not a fully automated system, it's semi-auto where you have to babysit the trades. Now yes, that's right, and absolutely you always need to babysit the trade, especially if you're trading live. Okay, now I could have went to sleep after this trade and I could have got out on this next trade even if I fell asleep and I got sloppy because I already set up the system. Why? And this is what I call a bread and butter JB trade because it hit my profit target right on the money. So watch. 6 seconds before the news comes out, again, 10 buys, 10 sells. So you're going to see a huge spike down. And look, you see my profit targets here? Okay, that's something that we set up. Oh, I tried to move them up, but look, it already hit both of them. So I have over $5,000 on the board a couple days before my 25th birthday. Okay, so look at this. You know, I wish I could have my NinjaTrader program out here and I could squeeze to show you this red candle here and that previous green candle on the French, and just basically have you have the aha or awareness. Wouldn't it be cool if you could just make money on these large spikes instead of having to, try to find that little, stairway or little, entry over here, Look at this small movement over here and look at this massive movement over here. That's what we like to do, make money on those huge spikes. And then listen, I want to make sure, one of the questions that people like to ask is, why isn't everyone doing this? Well, there's definitely risk in doing this, okay? You're going to definitely have losers when you trade this. The one thing that you need to be mindful of is that news trading is not skill trading. Again, news trading is not skill trading. Yes, I would say that I have lots of skills news trading, and I'm a news trading expert, and so is my partner Jay. But news trading is not skill trading, okay? Meaning that there's definitely some sort of external factor where, like for example, this next trade, which is going to be a losing trade, because why? Why is it? Because it's going to match the forecast, and it's actually going to be a dull and then indecisive trade. Now the truth is that the reason why I lose on this next trade is because I was being silly and fooling around, and because I was only trading one contract, okay, I went for a 70-tick profit target. But if I went for a 5-tick profit target, I would have had 5 ticks of profit. So watch what I mean here, okay? Watch this. And this is actually going to be a nice segue to explain our new software, the trap trade, which has no slippage. So watch this, 15 seconds. Watch what's going to happen here, okay? There's going to be a buy and a sell, but when the news comes out, there's going to be no immediate breakout. Watch this. Okay, now as soon as the news comes out, we wait 10 seconds. If there's no fill, we close out. And right at 10 seconds, right at 50 over here, you're going to see it's going to hit one of our profits, one of our buys or sells, one of our pending orders. Where does it? It hits our buy. Now watch this. It continues to go up. And look, $50 on the board, 5 ticks of profit. But where's our profit target? It's all the way up in the moon. And by the time I take it down, it starts to reverse the other way. And we end up losing $150. We get stopped out. And then we want to analyze why that happened, because the actual matched the forecast. Okay? Now watch this. And by the way, just to clarify, it took me 3 months, exactly 123 days to make 20K. Okay, just to clarify, Alvin, not 2 years. Okay, I made 20K in just a few months from 2K. And I'll answer some of your other questions, David, in just a minute. But anyways, getting back over here, stay with me here. Okay, what happened here? We got filled with a buy. It went up, but then it was shortly sustained, and now it went down. That is the birth of the trap trade. Okay, I'm going to explain that in a little bit. But instead of placing a buy on top of the market price and a sell below the market price, we do the inverse. Excuse me for 1 second. Okay. So there you have it. So we lose $150 on this trade. Okay, so this next trade is the May 3rd non-farm employment change, and this actually was an exciting trade for me. All right, basically, this is just before I proposed to my girlfriend at the time, and I wanted to make sure that I got her a nice diamond engagement ring. So on this report, I remember the Thursday night, again, this is a non-farm, I was contemplating how many contracts to trade, okay? And I remember waking up Friday in the morning, okay? I wasn't sleeping too well that night because I was anxious. I knew I had a big trade in front of me. I knew I was going to go a little bit heavier than I ever have gone. And so I remember taking a little walk to Sunset Park. It's a beautiful park right next to my house. And it actually has a nice view of the entire New York City skyscraper. And I said, you know what? I'm going to trade 12 contracts. I'm going to score a lot of money, and I'm going to help pay for a nice diamond engagement ring for Vicky. So take you back to the moment with me. Check this out, 24 seconds away from one of the biggest trades of my life, and I let the JOBB software do the work for me, okay? As my mentor teaches me, you want to make sure that you breathe correctly and breathe nice and slow. Let the JOBB software do the work for you. Don't stress, stay focused. So here we're 8 seconds away. Now watch what's going to happen, okay? 3 seconds, just like the other trades, okay? 12 buys, 12 sells. There's going to be a huge spike south this time. And you know what? Something funny happens over here in this one, okay? I get this weird Ninja Trader error message. And you know what? When you panic, sometimes it's hard to learn from your mistakes. So what I end up doing is I end up hitting the close button here again. And basically I get out here, this time luckily I get out at a good exit point right at the S2 with $7,593.75, okay, in 14 seconds. Okay, that was definitely one of the biggest trades for me. Used all that money to help pay for a nice ring for my wife now, and that basically showing you that this has definitely been a huge impact for my life, and just basically sharing with you the story from when I was a member. Okay, so hope you guys enjoyed that. Now I'm going to share with you my stats from Ninja Trader. Okay, so just to share with you, I'm going to share with you that the time period that it took me to make 20K from $2,000. So take a look at this from January 1st, 2013 to May 3rd. Okay, notice I'm only using my live account. No demo, no replay, no sim. All instruments and everything, not hiding anything over here. So take a look at the monthly breakdown. In January, I made over $1,500 profit. In February, similar. And then in March, I made over $6,000. In April, over $4,000, and then in May, over close to $7,500. Okay, and then what else did I want to share with you? Some other stats. Oh yes, there you go. So $21,000, $102.50 in 123 days. And now I challenge you to find another educator that's going to be as transparent as that and share with you these kind of statistics. Okay, now, and basically my cumulative profit target, okay, over 1,000% return on investment. And I could have just made that the title of this presentation, but it's kind of hard to believe. So, but I'm just going to share it with you right now, over 1,000% return on investment. Okay. So I mentioned that I worked for a CPA firm doing consulting work. So, if I share with you these stats, I also got to share with you my broker statements, right? Independent, having independent source. So I'm going to do that real quick. And before I do, that's my wife, Vicky, and that's Sunset Park. Okay, that's one of the highest elevations in Brooklyn. And you can see behind me, to the left of my head right over here, is the Freedom Tower. And I'm basically a beautiful park. Here's New Jersey here, right over here, this Goldman Sachs Tower. And then right where my wife has a thumbs up, right to the right is the Empire State Building. So definitely a great park. I like to jog here in the morning, get my mind clear and focused and get ready for trading. All right, so this is my broker statement from January. You can see on the bottom here, my account was $2,285. I had a $1,500 credit, so I ended the month at $3,700. Okay, credits are good. You want to see credits on your broker statements. Now in February, I had $3,700. I added $1,600, so I ended the month with $5,000 total equity. And then in March, I had $5,000, and I more than doubled my account. I made $6,400 in profit. I ended up the month with $11,000. And then I think this is the last broker statement I have to share with you. I had $11,000. I added close to $5,000. Okay, so I hope this is helpful. So now what I want to do is I'm going to answer all the questions that I see. We have lots of great participation. So I definitely want to give a shout out to Mark. Definitely have a great community, and I see some great questions. What I want to do now is I want to continue the flow and go over the trap trade. So what is the trap trade? Okay. Basically, remember that loss that I just shared with you? What happened? Okay, it went north. Okay, and then we didn't capitalize on that 5 ticks of profit, but then it was shortly sustained, that movement up. So we wanted to figure out how we could profit our news trades that are expected to be indecisive or have a spike in that case where it was shortly sustained and pulls back several ticks quickly. So let me explain to you what we mean by the trap trade. Now, the way that I like you to think about it as a starting point is think about it as a reversal trade. Okay, think of it like the reversal of the JB trade. So you ever been to an amusement park, like for instance the Tower of Terror or one of those roller coasters that basically shoots you up and then it just shoots you back down? So imagine that this coaster over here, okay, we know that it's going to shoot up and then we know that it's going to go down. So what if we sold right over here in this top, okay, even though, let's say, the market price was from here on the bottom, it shot up north, but guess what? We know that it's going to be a quick ride up and then it's going to go down hard. So what if we place a sell right over here? Well, that's what we're doing with the trap trade. We're doing lots of extensive research because data try to capture spike continuing to go north. We're going against the grain and we're placing limit orders 45 seconds before the news breaks out. So we're basically the first one online at an unopened cashier register, is how I like to explain it. So basically, if you've ever been to Costco and you know that aisle 5 is going to open up in a few minutes, well, guess what? You're there waiting. As soon as the cash register opens up, the cashier comes in, you're first online. So that was a little bit much, but I'd like to share with you a video example. So check this out. This is a trap trade. Okay, and I'm going to this is new to our program, and I just want to make sure the audio is still good here. Can everyone hear me? Give me some feedback if you can hear me. Yes, okay, perfect. Excuse me, guys, I'm actually in moving mode, so I'm actually on a Wi-Fi connection right now because I'm moving to Florida next week, and basically I have a lot of things packed up. So I'm on my Wi-Fi. Thank you. Just let me know if that happens again. Okay, I'll make sure to pause and get things set up. So back to the trap trade. So and this is something that, you know, to be candid with you, you could practice without our software just to get a feel of it. But the beautiful thing about our software, again, is that for the trap trade is that, you know, it takes away the stress of placing it. It's not so easy to do on your own, but you could do it, essentially. You could do this. Watch. Okay. So watch. What happens is we place 2 sell orders in this case, so 2 different tiers and 2 buy limits. So 2 sell limits on top of the market price and 2 buy limits below the market price. The first thing that we do is we're going to move our profit targets a little bit above or below the support and resistance lines. See, I just pulled that down and I'm pulling this buy limit above the R1. Okay, so I have these in position 45 seconds before the news comes out. And the reason why we do this is because we see that, you know, news events have a tendency to go a little bit above or below the support resistance lines. Now, we have our 2 sells in position. We have our 2 buys in position. Now, you didn't see the high impact report alert, but if I showed you it, Jay, almost like a fortune teller, he said that if for some reason it shoots down and it hits our buy limits, to hang in the trade longer because of some sort of matching of a previous trade from 2 days before. Now, watch what's going to happen. Like clockwork, it's actually going to shoot down. It's going to hit our 2 buy limits. Now, like I mentioned, the trap trade is brand new for me as well. Now, automatically, and I don't think I did a good enough job of showing what our JOBB software does, it automatically places a profit target and a stop loss. Now, in the trap trade, it automatically just provided a stop loss right over here. But what about our profit targets? Those are our 2 sell limit orders on top over here. Okay, remember we had those 2 sell limit orders before? Well, guess what? Now there are profit targets. They're not going anywhere because we're using them to get out of the trade. So we're in the red. We're taking some heat over here. But as soon as I see the green, okay, I don't care. Sorry, Jay. I should listen to him because I would have made more money. As soon as I see the green, I pull my sell limits down. I end up getting out of the PP with about $150 of profit. So small winner here with 2 contracts especially. I mean 2 tiers. But I'm going to fast forward a little bit. Okay. You're going to see I'm going to get out right at the PP with $150. But guess what? If I had listened to Jay, and I would have stayed in this trade a little bit longer, of course, hindsight is 20/20. Watch this. fast forward this a little bit. Take a look at that huge green candle, and I think there's even more. Actually, no, that was it. Yeah, look at all that gravy on the next candle. Look, it shot up from the R1 to the R3 mid. And basically, yes, we good question, Alvin, about OCO orders. So we have with the trap trade, the current version, I believe, no, but I think our new update, which is going to come out shortly, might have that set up. Okay, but back to the trap trade. You know, give me some feedback. Let me know if you understand the trap trade. Let me know if you need me to further explain it. But basically, I wanted to, you know, a lot of people are attracted to our JV trade, but for those of you who are not really, you know, open to trading JVB or scared of slippage, the trap trade is something that's brand new and something that a lot of traders are very excited about. Now, what I want to do is I want to go over our track record. So here's this is our 3-year track record, and I'm going to give you the beginning of our 4th year, 2015. So in 2012, take a look over here. We traded 357 reports. 80.7% were profitable. Okay, that's an amazing statistic. 9% were indecisive. Those are trades where we had the full stop out, and 10.4% were dull. Those are trades where either get out break even, a few ticks of loss, or a few ticks of profit. So 80.7% profitability. In 2013, notice the number of reports increased to 428, 79.9% profitability, 15% indecisive, and 5% dull. So again, almost 80% profitability. And then in 2014, our new gold mine is the trap trade. We had 82.1% profitability, and our JVB is right around 80%. And how we're doing in 2015? Well, Q1, Q2, we're doing great. JVB is just about 75% profitability, and the trap trade is at 76%. Keep in mind, we're just finishing Q2, so the first half of the year, we could definitely see these numbers increase back to the close to 80% level. Okay, but still, even 76, even 74.7, that's an amazing statistic. A lot of people say that this is a flip of a coin. Well, we have detailed spreadsheets behind these numbers that I'm sharing with you here, and you know, this is now 4 years going on. And I'm seeing lots of questions come in. That's very good. Okay, so I'm going to make sure to answer everyone's questions. Now, one thing I want to make clear, okay, and by the way, we're definitely going to go over the hour. I hope that's okay. The JV members area. So you're not just buying the software. I want to make sure that's clear, okay? This is an educational program, a package as well, okay? So there's, in our members area, we have lots of educational videos to help you get started, instructional videos teaching you how to set up the JB trade, the trap trade, showing you how to set up the charts, et cetera, et cetera. So lots of good educational stuff in addition to having our software, which is available for you to download digitally as soon as you sign up. One of the key benefits, especially for those of you who are more sophisticated traders, something that's really valuable, something that even people come into our program just for this alone, even though they don't necessarily like news trading, is this right here. Okay, our archive of reports showing you for the past 2 years now this kind of breakdown. Like, for example, the monthly permits, it tells you our analysis. A little note tells you what happened in the first peak. There's always a reversal, second peak, and reversal. So basically, you could click on this in large, and you could see, going back 2 years, how that news event had affected the 6J, for example. Now, I kind of mumbled that, so let me explain it again. One thing that I did not talk about was that every single news trade, there's always going to be a breakout. Okay, there's always going to be a first peak, excuse me, and then there's always going to be either a reversal or a second peak, or it could be both. And for those of you who are more sophisticated, after the first peak, you can manually do a reversal trade or a second peak trade and capture lots of profits. Okay, that's more advanced. It's not using the software. That's basically using a little bit of technical analysis and a little bit of, you know, basically education that we share in our program. But now I just want to share that with you. Now, the value of JOBB. Okay, now stay with me for those of you live. I'm going to go over the special in just a few minutes. But the special that we're offering, and by the way, as many of you know, Memorial Weekend is coming up, and my partner being, you know, a member of the U.S. Forces being in the Navy, we wanted to do something special for Memorial Week coming up, a time where we remember those who have fallen, who have given their lives up. And I understand that there's an international community here, but that's what Memorial Day is here in the United States. So we're going to do a nice special for you, and basically what this special is going to include is both the JV and trap trade software license for up to 2 computers. You're going to get free software upgrades as enhancements are made. You're going to get step-by-step instructions with pictures and videos showing you how to install and set the software, and of course customer service if needed, troubleshoot or assist. You're going to get those awesome high-impact report PDFs at least 24 hours in advance, telling you exactly how to set up for the trade. Then we have the bi-weekly interactive webinar, something I didn't mention before. Remember the theme of our program, transparency. So every 2 weeks, Jay will go on to a webinar and on a Saturday, and he'll go over every single trade that we took the last 2 weeks, and he'll go over the performance. And again, if you can't attend those are recorded. And then we have a live chat room. Now, I'll be candid with you, the chat room is not like something that you could chat on 24/7, even though it's available. It's really just meant for a place for traders to meet during the actual trades, before and after people share their performances. And then I always like to send valuable newsletters and videos helping to educate our members. You're also going to get full access to our membership area. You're going to get those detailed images of each report analysis going back at least 18 months. I think now it's close to 3 years. I'm going to teach you how to analyze different candle reactions. And all recorded course material webinars are posted on our website. And the cool thing is that you're not on your own, okay? Our team here, you know who our team is. It's not a big Walmart operation. We are a mom and pop shop, and we like to give the best service possible. So you just email us at support@JOBBracketBreakout.net, and Jay, the research team, or myself will get back to you. Okay, so the cool thing is you could record your trades. Okay, ideally that's what you should do, and you could actually send them in to support@JOBBracketBreakout, and myself or Jay will actually analyze your trades and give you feedback. So I think that's really invaluable. Now, the benefit of our program, okay? Well, the benefit of JVB is, the bottom line is this. Do you want a way to trade a predictable spike in the market without the stress and uncertainty of the order placement? You can set up your computer, your charts, and JB software in less than 10 minutes before report, trade it, and be done in about 15 minutes. Okay? Once we enter into a trade with JB, we are usually out within seconds. And now the question you're going to be wondering in a few seconds is it worth the cost? Well, guess what? You can make back more than your investment in JB with 1 to 3 successful average trades with just 1 contract. So if you ever tried to trade a report and fumbled the setup, giving a donation to the market, don't do that again. Okay? For me, and I think hopefully for you, for the benefit of JVB is the freedom to be where you want, doing what you want when you want. Okay? You can make money on the news within seconds, stress-free with our JV software. You can profit on indecisive news spikes while others are on the sidelines with our trap trade. You can know exactly when you're going to take a trade with specific settings and instructions provided 24 hours in advance with our high-impact report alerts. The bottom line is this: no other trading program can match the lifestyle that we bring to the table. So how much does it cost? Well, the better question is, what is it worth? Okay? What if I told you that with our software, with our program, members have scored over $25,000 on a single trade, okay, in less than 10 seconds. That members have earned more money per minute than most people have earned per hour. Okay, we have members who have switched from learning mode, sim, to live trading less than 1 week. Okay, this isn't a program that's going to take you 6 months to learn. This is a program that you could actually put into effect, even within a week, or, with dedication in a few days. People have doubled their monthly income in less than 1 month. And as I've shown you, people have made over 1,000% return on investment in less than 90 days. Now, here's a recent testimonial, or I should say just a testimonial from the first half of 2014. Okay, this is from a serious trader, D. Hey, Eric, I made over $28,000 in the last week trading up the report. Some manual, some auto. I am super, super stoked. I've joined the chat room. To recap, one 60-minute trade Sunday, I had 80 contracts on between copper and the Australian dollar, and took $14,317 between 2 accounts, and it was all manual working the reversals. I am ecstatic. The thing is, I trust the reports. I know I'm not going to win them all, but the probability is very high on the risk 1 and risk 2 reports. Okay? Now, another weekly report that we trade is the natural gas report. Okay? It's the riskiest report of our program. It's risk 5. But guess what? Right in our chat room, okay, AZ trade, I think that's Mark, he made $1,000. Okay, one contract, 100 ticks off natural gas. And here's a recent testimonial from Q1. Okay, this is Nicholas. I think he kind of reminds me of myself from when I was a member. Same sort of story. He was very patient, and now he's blasting lots of great videos on YouTube. Jay, Eric, it's Nicholas letting you know that after 5 months of testing JOBB, I finally took a live trade on the crude oil report. I paper traded it many times and found out that with a 10-tick bracket, a stop loss of 15 ticks, and a profit target of 15 ticks, it was successful 80% of the time. This last time was a winner, and I'm really happy about it. I'll concentrate mainly on the following reports. I'm looking forward to the green report. Anyways, thank you for what you're doing. Best regards. So take a look at this trade from last week from Nick. Okay, it reminds me of me because I actually did the same thing for Jay. When I first started, I was just, I was just so happy that I was, and I wanted others, people to see a real system. So take a look at it. This is a video from Nick. This is the 30-year bond auction from last week. He's putting in exactly the settings that are from our PDF report. Now watch this. Okay, this actually comes out at a weird time, so it's going to break out in a few seconds here. The 30-year bond auction. 4 buys, 4 sells. Okay, waiting for the news to come out, and it finally does in a few seconds. Okay, it shot down, and he has 2 different profit targets, and he's going to get out the first 2 and the second 2. $562.50. Okay, and he was in the trade within about 20 seconds. So remember that, $562.50. Okay, and that was a real trade by Nicholas. Okay, on YouTube, 30-year bond auction. Now, $597. Is that fair for 1 year? Well, guess what? That's our 1-year membership to join our program, which gives you both a JV and trap trade. But because it's Memorial Week, we want to do something extra special, and so we're going to knock off $97. Okay, so $500 for 1 year of membership, which will give you access to both our JVB and trap trade software. Okay, now I think that's a really nice, I think that's a really fair price. And basically, as I mentioned before, we are a small mom and pop shop, so that's why we're going to put a time constraint, and we're only going to open this up for 10 spots. Okay, now to make things a little bit sweeter, okay, I'm also going to offer a free 30-minute coaching call with myself. Okay, I really enjoy doing those, and that's going to be good until midnight Monday, May 25th, Eastern Daylight Time, or when 10 spots fill up. Okay, during the coaching call, you're going to learn how to install and set up the JB software, and you're also going to learn how to install and set up the trap trade software. Okay, so you want to mark down and write this link down. I'm going to go ahead and mark this in the chat. NEWJOBB.ninja. Okay, and if you do that, let me just take you to it. So why don't I go ahead and do that? I'm just going to make sure that you guys know how to spell it. It's NEWJOBB.ninja, and that's going to get you to the special page right over here. Okay, just go to NEW, right here, NEWJOBB.ninja, and you're going to have this JV 1-year Memorial Week special. And then you're you can see all this information over here, and then you're going to put your first name, last name, choose your username, make sure you read the user agreement, hit I agree, and then go next, and you should be on your way. All right, now the 30-day money-back guarantee, okay? Again, you notice there are lots of transparency with our program, and I want to make sure that basically you don't have any excuse for not joining us. With a 30-day money-back guarantee, here's how it works. Okay, no marketing gimmicks, but the bottom line is this. I want to make sure you understand that this is not a get-rich scheme, and I want to make sure you understand that I want to work with people that are people that like to take action and that are not going to come into our program, do nothing, and then of course, want a refund. So the way the 30-day money-back guarantee works is when you sign up, you must sign up for the free coaching call with myself within 14 days to qualify. And why I do that is because I know that when you come in and you know that you have to do the coaching call within the first 2 weeks, then I know that you have a much better chance of success of actually putting things into action, because I hope that when you're going to speak with me, that you're going to do lots of your homework and you're going to be a good student. I look forward to having good students. So make sure you bookmark NEWJB.ninja. Again, the 30-day guarantee, I think I explained that well enough. And if you're still contemplating, this is futures trading, okay? And just to put things in perspective, I currently live in New York. this New York City subway, I think it's even higher now, but it's $2.50 last I recall for one swipe. Okay, if you do the math, that's less than $1.50 per day for a JV membership. Okay, so a special limited time, it's going to end on Monday, May 25th. That's Memorial Day. It's going to close at midnight. It's going to be either that or the first 10 spots. And I could tell you, we do these specials, not so often. Okay, we wait for exciting events or holidays like Memorial Day. So I wouldn't be surprised before I go to sleep tonight if all 10 spots are filled. But that being the case, we're going to monitor and we're going to let this special run until Monday. So there's really nothing for you to contemplate at this point, considering the 30-day money-back guarantee. Just hopping on a call with me. I mean, there's really, not much for you to risk. Okay, it's really on our end. We're giving you everything you need to make sure you could test it out and verify for yourself. Because the bottom line is this: I could give you, my broker statements, my NinjaTrader stats. I could share with you live trades from recent members. The bottom line is this, and I'm telling you from experience: until you trade yourself and until you have a winning trade with your own account, that's the only time you're going to start to be a believer in this. Okay, and I had that moment, and I'm hoping that you're going to have that moment. I know that you could have that moment if you come in with the right mindset. Okay, if you come in and you treat this thing not like an ATM machine, but like a trading tool on your tool belt. Okay, and come in very disciplined. Okay. So some bonus material. By the way, I think some people have to go, and I apologize, David. I know you had a lot of questions to ask. Hopefully, when you watch this recording, you'll see that your questions were answered. So we're over the hour here, but I want to go over some bonus material. But basically, before I do, I think I want to answer some questions. Okay. So let me go ahead and start from the top. David left, but David was asking about different resources for news reports, and we went over Forex Factory. Silvio, you were asking about the broker must be, so basically more of a technical question, but yes, NinjaTrader's platform, that's who we use for our software, who we recommend for the broker. Sorry I couldn't show an example of a crude report, but I could if you'd like. Absolutely, JL, you need to buy the NinjaTrader license, but as I mentioned before, you could test on SIM for free. And it's more than just a breakout program, okay? I went over at the end the manual reversals, the second peak trades, as well as the trap trade. And VPN, that's a good question. VPS, actually, okay, JL? For those of you that are international, highly recommend or even require that you have a VPS connection. What is a VPS, you might ask? So VPS is something that basically it's like remote connecting into another computer. So if you live internationally, you realize that there's these milliseconds. Every millisecond counts when you're news trading. Okay, it's fast movements. So what a VPS system does is you're able to, let's say, pay the one that we recommend is I think about $100 a month. You could connect to a computer, a trading computer in Chicago, right next to the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, and be right there. So if you're in Australia or somewhere in Europe, instead of having to deal with latency or lag, you could connect very closely to the exchange. So if you're in the States, I would say it's definitely a trading edge, but not required. But if you're internationally, okay, outside of North America, let's say, definitely I would recommend that you have to have that if you're going to trade live. And then Alvin, we clarified that I made the 20K in a few months. And then Joseph, you were saying that I explained how to close out on long contracts, but not how to close out on short ones. Well, basically, if we got filled, let's say we got filled on a short trade. Okay, we filled on a short trade, and I could show with you an example. We're going to get out with a buy limit. Okay, so basically, what I'll do is our profit target, which would be a buy limit, I'll just move it up. All right, Joseph, let me know if you want me to show an example. I'd be happy to. James, good question. How many hours a day were you trading? With this program, okay, you don't trade in hours, you trade in minutes. Okay, I would say being very, being on a serious note, I would say seriously, let's say your trade comes out at 8:30 in the morning, which many trades come out, let's say 8:30. There's a good bunch of trades that come out at 8:30 Eastern, U.S. news reports. I would be in front of my computer at 8:15, 15 minutes before the trade sets up, set up my computer, run NinjaTrader, have everything set up. And then once the trade runs at 8:30. I'll be out in a few minutes, a few seconds actually. So total footprint time, 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, that's a conservative approach. So let's say there's 2 trades a day. You know, I guess hypothetically we're trading 40 minutes, but 15 to 20 minutes. But even though we're in a trade for a few seconds, most of the time is just a setup. Okay, let's see here. Caesar, we don't know whether it's going to go up or down. Okay, again, we're not fortune tellers. We don't care. We're just betting that there's going to be a decisive reaction. With the trap trade, again, we don't know whether it's going to go up or down, but we know based on historical data that there's going to be a shortly sustained reaction. And then Chuck, I'm sorry that you left, but basically some of the questions that you asked, I think we already went over. But yeah, we trade over 60 trades per month. All right. So James, you asked about Mac. So I don't know about NinjaTrader. As long as NinjaTrader works on Mac, you should be fine. But I have a solution for you. If it doesn't, just very simply get a VPS, and you'll be fine, because you could connect on the VPS on a Mac or a PC, and then on that VPS, on that trading computer they can remote into, for sure it's going to be a Windows-based computer, and you should be fine. Okay. JL, did I trade the news today? No, I did not trade personally. Our program, we traded three reports today. Right now, I'm just getting all my things packed up. I'm moving next week. So basically, just today, my attention was just on this webinar over here, but absolutely, I trade every day. Good question, JL. We'll tell you, we'll dictate whether to do the trap trade or the JB trade. So that's not something that you need to worry about. We'll tell you whether it's going to be a JB trade or a trap trade. And then Alvin, you asked a question about data provider. So yeah, I like Arithmetic. I think that's a little bit of a premium if you have to request for that. But yeah, I like Arithmetic data a lot. But I think the one that comes with NinjaTrader Standard should be fine as well. But absolutely, I do like Arithmetic. And the reason why I could tell you that I like Arithmetic is that I noticed. Oh, look at that, Nicholas. Nicholas, shout out to Nicholas. I hope, Nick, you and I haven't connected for a while. We spoke in the email, but I hope you're okay with me showing off your trades. And everyone, we have Nicholas on the webinar today, basically, I'm a little shy right now because I'm showing off your trades. I don't even know you're there, but I know that we definitely are very happy to have you with our program, Nicholas. I tell you straight up, just remind me of myself, because I used to do the same thing. And for those of you watching the recording, you could see all of Nicholas's trades on his YouTube channel. All right. How do you set the number of contracts you trade? Is it based on the percentage of risk of your account? Great question, James. That's something I wanted to cover in the bonus material. But first, I wanted to answer your question, Larry. VPS. So the service that we recommend is MyTradeHost. In fact, I think we have like a little, when you sign up, one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to send you a personal welcome email, and it's going to have a link to MyTradeHost.com. It's a VPS service that we recommend. So just when you come on into our program, I'll definitely hook you up with our VPS, or you could email me and I'll give you a link. All right? So I think I answered some questions, and then Nick mentioned that next week's AUS Australian quarterly report, he's excited for that one, and I think he did really well the either 2 months ago, I remember, and then last month you missed it by mistake. Anyways, let's go on to the bonus material, okay? And I think we're gonna close out in about 5 or so minutes. Again, I see that we have Mark still on the line, and we still have about 20. We still have a good majority of our participants on the line here. We have a nice tight group on the presentation, so I'm just going to continue to go over the bonus material, and then we're going to wrap it up in about 5 or so minutes. Okay. So first of all, why do some experts oppose? Okay. I think in Mark's case, it's not because Mark has a big ego. He said very candidly, his reasons for why, but I would say the reason why many other experts oppose is some of them actually have big egos, and what I mean by that is, they view trading as an art, and they think that what we're doing is kind of like scalping the markets and not really an artistic way. And so basically, that's a good reason why some experts oppose. Not a good reason, but I would say definitely one of the reasons. And then, those experts that you see on MSNBC or, Bloomberg, they provide a negative scope for that, okay? But the thing is, and the reason why I love Jay so much is because he went against the grain back in 2008 when he started to test this approach, a time where the markets, were all over the place. He started to figure out how to capitalize on these news trades. And so I hope you feel very fortunate to be in today's presentation. Hopefully give a thank you to Mark for welcoming and bringing us on. Okay, now business metaphor. Okay, maybe this is a little bit elementary for some of you, but basically I just wanted to explain one reason why people ask, so why are you showing off your program? Why don't you just continue to make, whatever you claim to make with Jay and make it a very elite and tight group? Why is Nick, him blasting off his amazing success on YouTube? Well, the truth is that, unlike a business per se like Dunkin' Donuts, let's say you own those Dunkin' Donuts, and let's just pretend that you're able to open up a franchise of Starbucks. Well, if you were very profitable with your Dunkin' Donuts, let's say you had a nice prime location, would you tell a friend to open up a Starbucks next to you? Would you be open to that? Well, most likely not. Okay, you wouldn't want that friend to eat up some of your profit. I know some of you are sophisticated, and in 2000. Whoops, I think I'm getting cut out here. Getting a little bit of frequency here. Can you guys hear static? I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I'm sorry about the static. I don't know where that's coming from. But basically the point is, and I'm going to wrap up after this, is that, I think the static is gone. James, how do I sound now? Do I sound okay? Okay, sorry about that. Basically with trading, it doesn't work that way. Okay, both you and I could both profit on the same trade. Okay, that's why it doesn't matter whether I share with you what we're doing, and we're nothing compared to the IBs, investment banks. We're a small group of folks here. So that's why we limit the entry to only 10 folks, which is why I hope you're going to be one of those 10 and not sleep on this amazing opportunity. Bankroll management. Someone asked about bankroll management, and I'm just want to focus. Basically, here's what I advise. If you want to know how much money to start with, first of all, zero. You want to make sure you verify this on Sim. Okay, you don't need to risk anything because you could see how others are doing in the chat room, and then I would say even better, you could see how see Jay go over the trades and the webinars. But then let's say you say, Eric, listen, I just want to know if just be straight up, Eric. Come on, tell me how much money do I need to get started? Okay, and that's a little bit of my Brooklyn coming out over there. But basically, I'll tell you like this. I would recommend that you start with minimum investment of $2,500, ideally $5,000, better $10,000. Here's why. If you trade with a small account of $2,500, you could, let's say, trade one contract of, let's say, crude oil. But once you go below $2,000, you're not going to have enough of the margin requirement to trade anything. And you're going to be so tight and you're going to be trading scared money, if you will. So you want to have a healthy bankroll. I advise never to risk more than 5%. So if you had a $10,000 account, okay, and let's say, remember, let's say you risked only one contract, or let's say you traded one contract, $150, and let's say worst case scenario you had 3x your stop, okay? So you lost $450. Guess what? Still less than 5% of your account. So that's why if you stick with that, you have a healthy bankroll and you never risk more than 5%, you're going to be able to weather out any storm. And that's what I love about JBB. Sure, you could ask Nick, and you could even see Nick's YouTube file. You could see that basically he has winners, he has losers. But the bottom line is that consistently and for the long run, he's profitable because he's consistently staying and trading within the proper bankroll that fits his bankroll. And even if he has losses, they're hopefully never more than 5%. Okay, and I think I'm starting to have a little bit more static. So here's the last slide I want to share with you. Okay, I'm not familiar with NinjaTraders, or is it worth the hassle? Yes, get a demo account set up for free. Yes, I'm going to help you on the free coaching call. Seriously, that's an amazing deal. And yes, you're going to actually love NinjaTrader. So with that said, guys, again, it's newjb.ninja. Okay, we went on an hour and 20 minutes. This has been amazing. Basically, if you want to get the next YouTube channel, just go to youtube.com/NEWJOBB. Again, youtube.com/NEWJOBB, and I think you're going to see one of the videos that I liked, and then you'll be able to find Nicholas's trades. James, I want to thank you for your feedback. And actually, before I close out here, do me a favor, okay? I'm going to go back to moving mode in just a second here. Give me some feedback real time. Let me know, I want to know, just let me know if you enjoy this presentation. I enjoyed very much interacting with you guys today. It's been a pleasure. So again, I want to wish you guys a fantastic Memorial weekend, I should say, and the Memorial Week special is going to run till Monday night. And the bottom line is this, okay, it's 2015, we're about to start Q3 here. This is nothing to replace, okay, for instance, what you guys are doing with Mark. This is just another tool to have so that you can continue to do the order flow with Mark, but then guess what? As Mark said before, when you guys are now sitting out on the news trade, you can experiment. You can see if this is something you could add onto your trading arsenal. That's why I think it was a great for us to connect. So I want to thank you, Mark, very much. Thank you guys very much for the feedback. I'm very flattered. All right? Awesome. Lots of great feedback. Mark, this has been great. I thank you very much for letting me come on. All right, guys, this is Eric E-Money saying goodbye, and I'll see you on the inside, okay? Just email me at support@JOBBracketBreakout.net. I think you're going to see a follow-up email, and then I think Mark's also going to follow up with a recording to everyone. Thanks, Alvin. Thank you guys very much. I want to just give a quick shout-out to James, Joseph, Ron, Sylvia, Tony, Alvin. Thank you guys for sticking on to the end. And for those of you, again, this is Eric E-Money saying goodbye, and I'm going to see you on the inside. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.